Sameach. So we are 2 days into Chanukah. I'm already getting tired of latkes. Why are latkes such an important part of the holiday? It's because of the oil, right? Latkes are fried in oil. And sufganiyot, the jelly donuts we eat, are also oil. And the Sephardic foods also oil. And so oil is really, in some ways, with the lights, the central symbol of our holiday. And it's not only because the oil was the jar that they found that then miraculously gave 8 days and nights of lighting to the menorah in the rededicated temple. It's also because of the symbolism of oil itself. And in Judaism, oil is wisdom, especially olive oil. It's the wisdom that brings illumination into our lives. The wisdom that gives us clarity about our own lives and how we want to walk in the world and how we want to see ourselves and see everything. And also about how we want to bring ever more growth and illumination into our own lives. And it's symbolic of the inspiration that comes to help us at a difficult time. And so in the story of Chanukah, the Maccabees find that jar of pure oil. And that jar of pure oil has the seal of the high priest on it, because it's the purest kind of oil, the only kind of oil that really lights the menorah in the temple, that leads to true illumination. And it's also symbolic of the kind of wisdom they needed to defeat the Greeks in that battle. And the Greeks were a mighty empire, and their culture was pervasive throughout the Near East. And what was Jewish culture? Jewish culture was a little provincial, parochial culture and religion. The Greeks used to laugh at the Jews and say, "Your temple is empty. Why are your gods invisible?" And many of the Jews did not know what to do as the Greeks made more and more aspects of Jewish life illegal, until one day in the small town of Modi'in, in a town square, where they were encouraging the Jewish elders to do idol worship, one man, Matityahu, suddenly clicked and refused to do it and grabbed a spear instead and started a rebellion. So they found, as we read in so many accounts, both in the book of the Maccabees, but in our popular imagination of it all, how throughout the few years the Maccabees managed to defeat the much greater, much more advanced, much more sophisticated Greeks through all kinds of feats of strength, of courage, and also of wisdom, of finding the ways to defeat a larger adversary, until there came the big battle and they defeated the Greeks and they were able to go rededicate the temple. And their wisdom wasn't just an ordinary wisdom, the kind of wisdom you get from life experience. I mean, what were they? They were just Judean farmers and Judean priests in the hills. They didn't have any special life experience, but the wisdom that they found was the wisdom of going deep within and asking themselves, what are my values? What do I care about? And as the Hasidic masters say, they went to the Tselem Elohim, to the image of God within, the spark of God that we have all within us. And that gave them something that allowed them to understand and be always one step ahead, 2 steps ahead of the Greeks. And so the oil of Chanukah is the oil of true wisdom, but it's also the oil of the wisdom that comes from touching on the Tselem Elohim, the spark of God within all of us. And then when you find that oil, that's when miracles can truly happen. When you find that place, that's the place of miracles. And so every year on Chanukah, at our deepest, darkest hours of the year, in difficult times, we learn we turn to that place, a place within, not without. And from that place, miracles can happen. From that place, we can find the wisdom we need. And so this year, with everything happening in Israel, this is what we hope to find too, to be able to, through everything that's happening, manage to go deep within and find the oil, the small jar of sacred oil that we all have, our wisdom, our spark of God. And from that place, do what Jews have done for millennia, lit their Chanukiah, knowing miracles will happen. And from that place, watch that fiery blaze give us the strength, the light to clear away all that is false and bring us triumph. Shabbat Shalom.